Welcome everyone to today's webinar from double data entry to zero data entry. We're going to be talking about our new integration here between Canopy Connect and Agency MVP. And we've got our featured guest, Bo Ward. Bo's a independent agency owner and previously a longtime farmers agency owner, just made the leap over to being independent here with IndyCover. Also joining us is Ashley Solis. She leads sales, success, and support and everything else, it seems like, over at Agency MVP. So we're excited to have her here. She's going to show us a little background into the Agency MVP product. And also joining, most of you guys know him, Robert Boerichter. He's our head of sales here at Canopy Connect. He's been at Canopy Connect for a couple of years, helped over 1,000 agencies, get onboarded and trained up on Canopy Connect and how to improve their businesses using Canopy Connect. Really appreciate you all being here. And Rob, I'm going to hand things over to you.
All right. Yeah. Excited to be on the call, everyone. So really thanks for having me. And also, thanks for the Agency MVP team for being here. This is, I think it's going to be fun. So really quick. So I figured, most of you guys know Canopy, but I think it would be good to do a quick refresher what we're all about. But I think the most exciting thing about this is the Agency MVP piece, where they're going to show how this integration works and how it's going to basically get you guys to zero entry, which I think is a long time hope and dream that we all have at Canopy when we got started. And this is actually making it happen, because we already get you the data from the consumer. So why would you have to actually type in anything yourself, right? So that's basically what this is all about. And I'm really excited because Bo has been testing it already, this integration. So I'm really excited to hear from him. But yeah, let me dive in, a quick refresher on Canopy. And also, I'll also kind of allude already to why you guys also need Agency MVP, which is awesome to automate some of the outreach you guys will be doing. So let me share my screen here and get you going here. Let me see here. All right. So for those of you that don't know Canopy Connect or might have heard about us, but not fully sure what we do. So ultimately, it's just the easiest way for any agent to collect any sort of insurance information. I was going to say personal insurance information, but we do commercial now as well. So we're ultimately, somebody wants to get a quote from you, or even if it's a current customer and you want to sell like a monoline home customer, like their auto policies, we can help you capture all the information needed. So, and instead of having the consumer hop on the phone with you to, recite their VIN numbers and their driver license, date of birth, we'll actually take all that work and we'll get you guys all that information through Canopy Connect. And then also right now with Agency MVP integration directly into the CRM, which will then port it over directly to your comparative rater if you're in independent. So that's basically what we do. So link looks like this. So the simplest way to use Canopy is you're working with prospect. They're interested in getting a quote. You'll say, hey, I'll send you this link that will take you 30 seconds to fill it out, and I'll have everything I need to quote you, right? So the link looks like this. It will be customized to your agency. So it will have like the IndyCover logo for Bo, and it says IndyCover is using Canopy Connect to verify your insurance. Then what they do is they click there. And maybe really quick, so that link is custom to the agency. We can actually customize it even on the producer level. But then what will happen is with Agency MVP, you can actually automate that already in all your emails, in all your templates, in all your text messages. So that can be directly in that first interaction you have with the consumer. So from there, the consumer goes in. They basically say, hey, it's okay for Canopy to get a copy of my insurance info and send it over to, in this case, Armstrong Coverages or IndyCover, so to your agency. They then select which carrier they're with. So we have over 200 integrations here on the personal line side. So this for now is focused on the personal line side. So let's say that they're with State Farm, which is the biggest one. We ask, do you have an online account? That's literally the only thing they'll need. So they just need to log in with their username and password. If they don't have one, they can easily create one. It will take them directly to the the State Farm website to create that account, which again takes a minute. It's usually like a phone number, date of birth, and an email address, and they're off to the races. Maybe they'll have to like put some like put in the like a policy number, and then they're good to go. So from here, they just put in the username and passwords. As you can see, it's already saved on the keychain, so we integrate with that, and then we just need to make sure that it's all like fully right credentials, and then that's it. So at this point, what will happen is we'll get all the information across all their policies across all personal lines. So home, auto, you name it, umbrella, we get you like their like renters, we get all their toys, so like RV, motor, and even life insurance. So all their policies that they have with State Farm at this point will be like available in our dashboard. And then with the agency MVP integration, we'll directly port over to agency MVP for you to review it there. So that's basically the zero entry that we're talking about. The consumer fills this out after you send them the link, and the data shows up in the systems that you're already using. I'll pause for a second. I see a couple chats coming in. Ray, any questions already that we need to answer, or not yet?
Not yet. We do have a question about some of the Radar integrations, but I think we'll cover some of that towards the end.
Okay, sounds good. Awesome. So, and by the way, feel free to use the Q&A just for questions, so that we can keep track of that and make sure that we answer them one by one. Then so as you can see, for the prospect, they literally, all they need to do is log in, right? Of course, we get a lot of questions. Do people know their username and password? Do they have an account? We see that an overwhelming majority of consumers is already used to this. They're already using this with their, connecting a bank account to Venmo, to Robinhood. Like, that's exactly the same concept. And ultimately, like, a lot of agents start to notice, like, people get a lot of the kind of Amazon and Netflix mindset, like, you want things on demand, so people don't want to spend that time like on the phone reciting their policy info while we already have that account, like that information in those online accounts. So that's really what this will enable you to do, is really get that information super quickly and super painlessly. And also, what's cool as well is, like, normally somebody comes to you for an auto quote. We see, hey, there's a home, there's 2 autos, there's maybe a motor or an RV, and there's like a 3 life policies. All of that information is going to come over. So you're going to get a lot more information compared to just doing your kind of like regular intake there. On our side, we show the data in our dashboard. So the data will always be here. But the whole idea is that you guys don't even use this dashboard, that you actually see the data directly in agency MVP, right? Because that's where you're already working with the prospects and some customers that you want to cross-sell. So this is how the data looks like. We'll get you everything from contact, address info, policy. So this is just one home, one auto, but again, we do all lines. You see all the driver info, and we get you all the actual back pages, auto ID cards, and any claims history. So everything is gonna show up here. I'll also show with the homeowners, for example, we'll see like all the dwelling info, premiums, effective dates. Everything is already structured. So this data is then gonna show up in agency MVP. So you'll see here the auto as well, with the VIN number, year, make, model. Everything is here, as well as all the driver info. This is just one driver, but again, if there's 10 drivers, we'll get all of this. So one story, like, I had a customer that managed to close like a lady with like 10 cars that would not, like, otherwise not be able to like even work with her, because it was just so much information that wasn't even going to be possible. So like, that's really where like the power, I think, of Canopy, just making it super easy for the agent to collect that info. That's, I think, enough about Canopy. I think the main reason we're on this call is to learn more about agency MVP. So Bo's gonna talk a little bit more about what agency MVP does, but ultimately it's gonna help with a lot of the outreach and a lot of making sure that we get you guys the actual prospects to engage with you, because you're automating a lot of the outreach and kind of doing like, I think there's even some lead scoring in there. But maybe good to hand it over to you, Bo, and then we'd love to hear more about your agency and kind of your experience.
Sure. Yeah, I was with Farmers for 10 years. Bought an agency about 5 years ago with Farmers. We were kind of going like everybody else, who were, referrals, networking, and didn't really have like a true lead management system in place. We were kind of using Farmer's system, if it was Apex or whatever it was. And so I actually talked to the founder of Agency MVP, looked at it a little bit more, tried a few other CRM systems. And you'll find that, there's CRM systems and then there's actually lead management systems. So the biggest thing I like about Agency MVP is that it ranks your leads and prospects for your producers. So that way your producers are calling people that are most likely to close. And they're not just calling a random list or, there's a rhyme and reason why they're calling them. There's over 30 data points that goes into the algorithm for MVP. So once we started using it and actually diving into it, I was seeing the efficiency of my producers, skyrocketing. We went from probably middle of the road in our region to top 10 in Texas. And again, that's not all MVP, but it's also producers as well. But having it organized and having an algorithm that ranks your leads and prospects is a big reason why we were cutting down on costs, and our producers were, writing a lot more business. And that's, as agency owners, I wanted to scale and get bigger quickly, but I needed something to put all this data, put all these leads, and have it organized. And then the ranking is just the big factor. Not only the ranking, but also the automation. So every lead that comes in there, if it's a networking event or referral, or if it's a EverQuote or a lead company, we set them up on a workflow, text and email drip campaign, so that way they're getting contacted immediately. So that's the best thing about MVP is the ranking as well as the automation. And one of the things that I saw that was a big pain point for our producers was they were calling 3 or 4 times to get the information from the current customer, what their dwelling is, what they're paying, what the liability is on their auto, or all these things. And so once Canopy came out, I was just like, this is it. So now, like our top producer, Jonathan, he's on the call. I love it when I see emails come through that he's getting, that they filled out the Canopy connection, because it goes straight into MVP. We don't have to call them 3 or 4 times because we missed some information, got everything there. And that way we can also upsell or, see exactly what they're, missing in their current carrier. And it's just streamlined the process tremendously, because I used to hate, when I listened to calls for coaching, I would hate getting those, listen to those calls and they'd call them back 3 or 4 times with 30-second conversations about, what was your deductible, or what is your dwelling, or how, so all that stuff's in the deck page. And having integration with Canopy Connect is huge, because it just cuts down, and the user experience, the customer experience has been a lot better. And if you look at like Jonathan's retention versus my old producers, it's a lot higher, because I think the onboarding process is improved tremendously, and they don't feel like it's been a burden to get us their information. And so not only does it help new business, but it also helps our retention as well. So I'm a huge fan of the integration. I love Canopy Connect, love MVP. And it's done nothing but just make our agency more efficient.
Awesome, Bo. No, that's I feel that's really cool. Like I'm always just looking at some of the questions. I'll get to those in a bit. But I think that like ultimately, I was talking to an agent at IAOA, the conference that we both were at last week. But basically, it's like the whole thing was like, I'm just trying to make insurance suck less, basically, like go towards the consumer, right? It's like, hey, look, we're all like, we know what we need to go through to get you that quote. So it's just making it less like just easier on both sides. So right now there's actually a big incentive, of course, also for the agent, because it means there's no like actual manual entry, but even for the consumer, like they probably don't have that 15 minutes or 30 minutes during the day to sit on the phone with you reciting PIN numbers. So yeah, that's exciting. So Bo, like yeah, tell us more like about agency MVP. So like, how does it help you kind of prioritize leads and like what to go after? Because like I haven't used it myself, so maybe good for folks to understand that a bit more.
Yeah. Are you gonna do it?
Yeah, I'll show.
Okay.
I'll share that for you if you want to.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. So you can see here, whenever one of our producers logs in, they have a prospect page. So these prospects, like I said, are ranked based off the algorithm. And so whenever they log in, they know who to call immediately every day. And they're calling the ones that are most likely to close. And those reasons can be claims falling off, the prior carrier having a rate increase, renewal date, premium, all these factors go into all the algorithm. So whenever I can check my producers, I can make sure that they're calling the right people at the right time.
Nice. No, this is that's awesome. This looks really, really good. I think that's a big thing for agencies also in terms of efficiency, right? Like knowing what leads to kind of work there. So really quick, guys. Go ahead, Bo.
Yeah, the big thing, there's a lot of CRM systems out there that are great on the back end whenever you get a customer, but there's not very many lead management systems, smart lead management systems that rank your leads and prospects. So, if you're looking for a CRM, there's a ton out there, but if you're looking to write a lot of new business and scale and really want to focus on the new business side, I think MVP is the way to go.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. And I also had a chance to catch up with the questions. I think like really quickly on a couple of the Canopy ones, and then we'll hand it to Ashley to maybe do a little demo of the whole integration. But in terms of Radar integrations, I think that Ashley can touch on that. But I think Agency MVP it covers basically the big three. So you have like Turbo Radar, Easy Links, and PL Radar. The interesting thing, I don't know if TJ, you're still on the call. We're also talking to IBQ, so please send Brian and Bruce a message just so that we can also make that happen. And then a question on sub-issuer relations. So the cool thing with Canopy is if they're with Geico or Progressive, the specific question was Progressive, will it also pull the home policy with home site or renters? Actually, Casey and my team, he has Progressive and we tested it, and it will also pull the home site and the home site policy as well. So any sub-issuers that's especially Geico Progressive for the home will also get that. If it's a completely different carrier, then there's also at the end a way that they can click import another carrier and then just go through the flow again. But for any sub-issuers, we get that data as well. Ashley, I think without further ado, let's dive into the integration.
All right. Yes. So I'm just going to show you guys a little bit around MVP and what it does. Bo touched a little bit about it. So we are a smart lead management system. And what that means is we're ranking your households in order of who's most valuable and who's most likely to close each day. So we have 30 different components in our algorithm that we're using to determine the ranking of these households. Let me show you what this details page looks like. So this is the page where you're going to put all of that contact information, where you're putting your quote information. This is the page where Canopy is going to send over that current carrier information. So over here, and I'll show you guys how you can use that Canopy Connect link, but they're going to be filling in all of this current carrier side. And it's also going to bring over their deck pages. So in MVP, you'll see all of those files in the files section right over here. Another thing that agents love about Agency MVP is our quote comparison. So since you have Canopy Connect, you actually have something that you can compare. So what you're going to do is you're going to put in your quote, either that you pulled in from PL Radar, Turbo Radar, Easy Links. We're also integrated with QuoteBurst and HawkSoft. So once you have their current carrier quote as well as your quote, you can send them this quote comparison, which is just a side-by-side view. It'll show them what you're saving them, how much additional coverage you're offering, and then that side-by-side. So they can see exactly what they have versus your quote. You're able to attach PDF documents here as well. And you are also able to send this via text message or email. So you'll choose the household you want to send it to, send it via text or send it via email. The great thing about sending the quote comparison is that we are going to timestamp exactly when you sent it. And we'll also timestamp when they opened and looked at the quote. So you'll always be able to stay up to date with that and see if those households are viewing those quotes. We also have workflows. Now, these are our automations. We do have text and email actions that can go out in these workflows. So we have API workflows. If you purchase internet leads, those leads can come directly into your MVP account. So we are integrated with all the top lead providers, EverQuote, Smart Financial, all the big ones that you can think of. So those leads can come in. You can set them up on an automatic workflow, which means they'll start receiving text messages and emails as soon as it enters the system. We also have our custom workflows, which can be assigned to any household. X-date workflows, these target that current carrier renewal date, and these can go on for up to 2 years, all on their own. So workflows are here. We have templates that you can use. You don't have to worry about what should I say, how many messages should I send. We have those templates in here for you. Now, since you're sending text messages and emails through these workflows, texting is included with agency MVP. So you can receive text messages, you can send text messages, and you get 3,000 text messages for free every single month with us. So we purchase that phone number for you. You don't have to worry about going and purchasing a phone number and connecting that account with MVP. We take care of all of that for you. Now, the way that Canopy Connect works with Agency MVP, so you can either put that Canopy Connect link that you'll integrate with your MVP account in a workflow. So I've seen agents put it like in this first action when they're first reaching out to that lead, or you can put it in an email. You can create your own Canopy Connect workflow. So if you want to send them a text message and an email, you can put those links in here. We do have the Canopy Connect link as a variable field. So all you have to do is go ahead and insert that link wherever you want it in that text message, and that's it. Once you send it to that household, it's going to link it to that household. The other way to use the Canopy Connect link is through a text template. So we have templates here. If you find yourself sending the same text message over and over, just create a template for it. So here you'll put the template name. And again, we have that variable field where you can use that Canopy Connect link. Now, if you're not sure like what you should say for these text messages, Canopy Connect, they do have email and text templates on that when you log in that you can copy and paste and put right into MVP. The only thing I would say is make sure whenever you see Canopy's variable fields, you may want to just replace them with our variable field to make sure that that proper data is matching the account. So it's that easy. When you go to send a prospect that Canopy Connect link, all you have to do is send them a text message here. And then you can pull up that Canopy Connect link from your templates. And there it goes. It pre-filled that household's first name, and it's going to send them that link. Once they fill it in, again, that's going to go to that details page. You're going to have all their current carrier data and their deck pages. That's it for me.
Boom. Let's go. Okay, so Carly, like we should have just like the mind blown emoji, but I think like the question from the audience here. So like, do the communications for MVP already like sync in a way also to the AMS, or like do you guys like kind of update on that side as well?
Hey, it's Michael, guest speaker. I can feel this one.
There he is. There he is.
So agency MVP integrates with lead providers and raters. The only AMS that we currently integrate with is Hawksoft. And really it's we're working on a two-way integration. If you have a specific AMS that you want us to try to integrate with, let us know. We do, however, we're working on a Chrome browser extension, which is actually being used by a bunch of farmers agents right now to get data out of MVP and into Guidewire and vice versa. And we're making it so that browser plugin will work for basically whatever you're using. So let us know. And if we don't have a direct integration, we can probably handle it with the browser extension, which copy and paste the data. It's a little more manual, but it's a whole lot better than typing it in.
Exactly. That's awesome. Cool. And I think and Jeff also asked a question on like how this works from a kind of a user perspective, right? So if you want to send the data to PL, so that's what's really cool with this integration is like we don't have like a direct integration right now between Canopy and PL Rater. So for example, in this case, if you would use Agency MVP, they kind of make that connection between Canopy Connect and PL Rater. So if you want to get the data automatically into PL Rater, you can do that through Agency MVP. And of course, we're not saying just to buy Agency MVP for that reason. I think there's a lot more use cases, obviously, than just sending the data there. But that's really, I think, a big plus if you're using both systems, right? Because you're going to have the automation from MVP, and you're going to get the data directly also into the Rater.
And I see a question from Billy. So does it work better with X-state leads or internet leads to determine who's a better prospect to close? So it's all going to be dependent on the information that you're feeding MVP. The more information you're putting in for that household, such as claim dates or renewal dates, that's what we're using to rank those households. So I wouldn't say that, one is going to work better with ranking than the other. We have internet leads coming in directly, but we also have agents that purchase lists of X states and import into MVP. So that is another thing you can do. You can import leads into Agency MVP if you have them on a CSV file. You can import customers, and you can also mass assign workflows to those imports.
You can also trigger workflows based on, things like X dates or claims falling off, which can be really useful. And then, generally with internet leads, we don't, it's kind of up to you. I think Bo tested both, but he doesn't send the Canopy Connect link on the first outreach, but when they engage with a producer, then that's when we insert the Canopy Connect link, and we're finding that works really well, sort of as a follow-up rather than on the first touch.
No, that's actually really good insights, guys, and I think you guys can definitely share that more also with our customers, because we get a question a lot of like, where do you kind of insert Canopy in the process? Of course, a lot of it is in the front end, but for internet leads, if it's the first email you send, like if there's like even any link in it, it will already like be caught by spam filters a lot sooner. So like probably best to not do that and then wait for either a second email or maybe a text message, right? So text messages like also seems to be very effective with a lot of our customers. Because I don't know, like I didn't show that, but actually the link works like really well on mobile as well. So if they just open it on their phone, they can just do it on their phone, and it doesn't have to be on the computer. All right, so Vlad is asking, does the information automatically pull in from Canopy to MVP? Actually, you want to take that one?
Yes. So let me share my screen again. So once you send them that link, their current carrier information is going to fill in over here on the left where you see the current carrier quote, and then their deck pages will be pulled into the file. So yes, that will automatically come into MVP once they get logged into their carrier account.
Perfect. Now that's all we needed to know. So and then there was a question about pricing as well. So I don't know if you guys want to cover that now or at the end, but just how the pricing works for you guys.
Yeah, let me answer Robert's question really quick. So does the Canopy link need to be sent from Agency MVP in order for the data to go into MVP? So great question. If you send it directly from Agency MVP, if you already have that household in MVP, then when you send it through, it's going to fill in for that specific household. If you are like at an event or you're at a wedding and you're like, yeah, I do insurance, here's the link, fill that out. They can still fill that out. It's going to come in as an API lead into MVP. So that household will still come in with all that data, but it's going to come in as a brand new internet lead for you.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome. Like I actually had two customers at the events coming up to me with their business cards, and they had like the Canopy QR code on the back of it, just to like in case you're like I heard a good story. There was actually a farmer's agent, but he said like he closed a big, like I think it was like a 7 or 8K premium deal just from the from the receptionist at the at his dentist when he was talking about insurance. So like those are like that's definitely one way where if it's more organic and people find you, maybe not for the automation, it will still show up. We just can't match it with the household because we don't know who it like relates to in MVP. But yeah, it will still work.
And then as far as pricing goes, so we have a few different options for subscription. So we do have our monthly unlimited subscription for $249 a month. We also have our annual subscription, which ends up saving you 20%. We do have a special price for our Canopy Connect customers, and that's 15% off of your first year. So if you use the coupon code MVP CC22, and I'll put that in the chat really quick. When you register, you'll get 15% off your first year with agency MVP.
Let's go. And yeah, also for any like maybe there's some MVP customers here, or like some people that are not a customer of Canopy yet. We also have for MVP customers that want to sign up, we also have a 10% off the first year with Canopy. So then you use the MVP 10 discount code if you sign up with that.
Yep, and I think we both offer free 14-day trial. So, you know.
Correct. Yes.
Out.
So yeah, exactly.
Canopy,
like we didn't mention. Yeah, we didn't mention the Canopy pricing, but yeah, we have a free trial for 2 weeks, and then $99 a month or $1,000 for the year, and that's for the whole agency, not per user. All right. So a quick question from Franny here, guys. She's a little confused. She says, so the prospect goes to fill in this out. Goes to the site. Fill out the deck pages come to PL and automatically quotes and then sends it to agency MVP. No, just to clarify, I think the kind of the workflow. You guys, if you use agency MVP, use use your automation there to send out the Canopy link. You can also again have a QR code on a business card. If they scan that, again, it will still go into agency MVP. So how this works is the data goes to agency MVP first, and then from agency MVP, you will basically be able to set up a quote and then go out to the rater or to the farmers like Apex system. So it basically goes from Canopy data into agency MVP. Then you set up the quote, fill out maybe some missing details there, and then you can send it over to like EasterLink's PL rater or Turbo Rater. So that's the process there, Franny. And if you have any more questions on that, just feel free to reach out. We're happy to do like a one-on-one demo as well. Oh, and TJ had it looks like TJ had another question on the Rater. So for I think he would like this to also work with IBQ. So I don't know if you guys are thinking about that already, but an IBQ integration, they're actually part of. I think they're also part of Zywave. So, but that would be. It's a smaller rater for like Northwest US usually. So anyway, so we're that would be a good one. So TJ also reach out to me directly. We can see what we can do there. All right, and Zach is asking if he can still get the discount because it looks like he already signed up a few weeks ago. So
we can do that, Zach.
Yeah.
All right. Michael committed to it. Yes.
All right. Any last calls for questions? If not, I think we're going to wrap it up. The agency MVP discount code is MVP CC22, and that's going to get you 15% off. And then the Canopy Connect discount code is MVP10 at checkout. So yeah, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Robert, Bo, Ashley, and special guest Michael for popping on there. All right, thank you everyone for joining, and we really appreciate it, and hope you give both of us a shot and try agency MVP and Canopy Connect integrated. Thanks everyone.